houses. So we did Jupiter, we did Mercury, we did Rahu, and this is one of the important videos because Mars is a significator for many important vital things for men as well as women. So let us start with Mars in all 12 houses. So before we jump into the results of Mars in different houses, let us try to understand what is Mars. What are the significations? What is Mars is basically Karaka for. So Mars is energy, initiation, corals, blood, vitality, lands, agriculture, siblings, because he is a Karaka for siblings. And Mars is a surgeon. He's a researcher. He's a fighter, commander. Athlete, great dancer. So all prominent dancers and top athletes, champions, they have very good Mars in their charts. Let's say Sachin Tendulkar, he has Ruchika Mahapurush Yoga, and Mars is exalted in his 10th house. And see the megastar Chiranjeevi, he's a great dancer, he has Mars exalted in Capricorn in the 10th house. So Mars basically is of masculine energy. So Mars in different houses definitely impacts conduct of nature also. So that's why for marriage in India, it is obvious that everybody assesses Mangalic dosha. So Mars in certain houses produces this Mangalic dosha, and if a proper remedy is not performed for this, so Mars can lead to disastrous life. So Mars in first house, second house, fourth house, 7th house, 8th house, 12th house. In these houses, Mars produces Mangalic dosha. And it is even worse in 7th and 8th houses, Mars being in 7th and 8th houses. So basically Mars in 7th house delays marriage, that is one thing. It is prone to, the individual is prone to extramarital, some affairs before marriage, some connections before marriage. And after marriage, the issues in marital life. And 8th house Mars is a very fearful situation. And Mars in 12th house also produces a lot of Mangalic dosh. So now let us start with Mars. So Mars in first house. So Mars in first house makes a person very courageous, aggressive in nature. So he's a fighter. He gets irritated easily, loses his temper. So certainly for a woman, it's not a good position because Mars in Kendra always produces masculine energy. So when Mars is in first house, suppose he is in good dignity, so he blesses the individual with land and assets, vehicles, because he aspects 4th house with his 4th aspect, and he blesses with a beautiful wife, spouse, because he aspects 7th house. Of course, Mars in first house also produces Mangalic dosh, but the reason being, the exception here is Mars is a benefic, then the ascendant Mars could be okay to manage. But still, with this position, Mars aspect 7th house and 8th house, so it can delay a marriage. And with 8th aspect, he can create some issues, turbulence in the marital life. If Mars lacks of the Jupiter's aspect, then it produces significant Mangalic dosh. But these people, they are of highly energetic, self-confident, entrepreneurs, risk takers. So if somebody feels like, very down, lack of energy and motivation, go on, just spend some time with a person who has a strong Mars, and you see that energy, how you feel motivated. And his best friends are Sun and Jupiter. So the only way the ill effect of Mars can be suppressed is just by Jupiter's aspect. Mars listens to Jupiter, and also he listens to Sun also, because Sun is king, Mars is commander. Commander has to listen to king, and it produces Sun Mars yoga if Mars is in conjunct with Sun in the ascendant. So these people are kind of fiery nature, very initiative, highly motivated, highly energetic people. They are kind of, they possess a lot of confidence levels that, they can do anything. In one way it is a blessing, because courage is very important. When a person passes through difficult situations, it's all courage that protects him. But of course, Mars in ascendant makes a person egoistic, self-centric, without Jupiter's aspect. If Jupiter aspects, then that's fine. The person maintains self-esteem. So Mars in second house. So Mars in second house certainly is not a favorable position, because second house is a house of speech. So these people, they get harsh when they talk with others, because of which, they have issues in their relationships. Because as I mentioned, Mars is a planet of energy and masculine nature, so which is quite opposite to what Moon is. So if you see from Aries, like Moon is ruler of fourth house. What is fourth house? Fourth house is sensuality, mother, pampering, caring, nourishing. So Mars is quite opposite. He's aggressive. He's a kind of bull. He's a go-getter. He's a commander. He's a fighter. So that's why he gets debilitated in Cancer. So if Mars is in second house and he aspects either Venus or Moon, so these people, they don't respect women or a mother kind of personalities. They get harsh with them, and it creates a lot of problems. Mars in second house makes a person spendthrift. He hardly saves money. And second house is also house of self-expression. So it is easily exposed that, looking at the person's traits and the way he talks, that he is a quite aggressive person. And it produces Mangalic dosh as well. Because second house is house of family. Mars sitting in the second house aspects 8th house with 7th aspect. And also with 4th aspect, Mars aspects 5th house. 5th house is a house of creativity, relationships before marriage. So with 7th aspect, so he definitely creates problems in getting married. And with eighth aspect, he aspects with seventh aspect, he aspects eighth house, that he creates, problems in marital life and connections, affairs before marriage with this aspect. And with eighth aspect, he aspects ninth house, which again, these people, they may not have smooth relationship with their father, guru, or that kind of personality. And Mars in third house. Yeah, Mars in third house does really well, extremely well, because the third house is house of courage, initiation, effort, communication, younger siblings. So Mars, because he's a fighter, he does well here, because third house is house, an opportunity for an individual to put effort and leverage his will. And his Mars in third house is very good in fighting against enemies. So Mars in fourth house. So Mars in fourth house again produces Mangalic dosh. So as I mentioned, fourth house is the natural fourth house is ruled by moon. Like moon is mother, sensuality, nurturing, caring, loving. So Mars is a kind of aggressive personality, is a fighter. So he doesn't do well in fourth house. So these people, they hurt motherly personalities, or women of sensual nature. And fourth house Mars, if it is a benefic placement in a good sign, exalted sign, can bless an individual with lot of lands and properties, vehicles. Because fourth house is a house of home and peace. So something should be burning at their home. They can't be in peace at home. These people, they continue to have many quarrels at home if Mars is in fourth house. So the relationship with mother is also not good, not smooth. Now Mars in fifth house. So Mars in fifth house, in one way it is good, because fifth house is house of art, sports, entertainment, creativity. So in these areas, Mars really help an individual to become successful. On the other side, a woman who has a fifth house in Mars, so she likely have difficulty in having children. She may pass through some abortions before she actually conceives. Because the fifth house is a house of mind and relationships. So Mars basically affects mind. So these people are quite aggressive in their thoughts. That is one thing. And the fifth house is relationships. Okay, they often have quarrels, disputes in their relationships with Mars in fifth house. So now again Mars in sixth house. So Mars does really well in sixth house. As I mentioned, he's a great fighter, commander. It is really very good placement to win against enemies. And Mars in sixth house also makes a person a very good doctor, because Mars is a surgeon. Now Mars in seventh house. Yes, this is also a difficult position if Mars is not remediated. This makes the person's spouse, he or she, very aggressive, quarrelsome. It can create problems in marital life. The person often have disputes in social life. So with 7th aspect, Mars aspects the ascendant. So this person feels irritated of their spouse. And with the 8th aspect, Mars aspect 2nd house. So it disturbs their family, their peace in family. And with 4th aspect, it aspects 10th house. Of course, Mars aspect on 10th house is good because Mars actually attains Digbala in 10th house. Because like Saturn, Mars is also karmisti. That's why he gets exalted in Saturn's house, Capricorn. He's a taskmaster. He always wants something to accomplish. So the 4th aspect is good actually. So Mars in 7th house without Jupiter's aspect is really a troublesome position, and these people, they have to follow certain remedies to nullify this or suppress this Mangalik dosh. So Mars in 8th house, so this is very bad situation again. Mars in 7th and 8th, I have seen people who don't care to even beat their parents, siblings physically and abuse them verbally. 8th house is house of transformation, and Mars is a natural karaka for 8th house. So karake bhavanashinaha. So that's why Mars won't do well in 8th house, because when being in 8th house, he aspects 2nd house with 7th aspect. It impacts family, and with the 8th aspect, he aspects 3rd house. These people get into quarrels with their younger siblings. And for the 4th aspect, it aspects 11th house, which is elder siblings. So Mars in 8th house always create problems with their siblings and relationships. And also it potentially delays marriage, and if at all married, if it is not remediated, or Mars is the 8th house is not having any benefic Jupiter aspect, it can break the marriage. I have seen many cases. And Mars in 9th house, so it's not a bad nor a good position, but still it is okay because it's Kona 9th house is. So but Mars is a kind of a materialistic energy, a masculine energy, which always wants tasks to be performed. So 9th house is the highest of dharmasthanas. So these people are very aggressive, commanding with respect to following a discipline or a religion. So it makes an aggressive spiritual leader, Mars in 9th house. And the father personality is also very aggressive. The teacher, guru, whoever they have, they are very top masters. So Mars in 9th house with 4th aspects 12th house. So which is not good, because 12th house is house of addictions and loss. And with 7th aspect, it aspects 3rd house. So again, there is a connection between will and fate through Mars energy. So Mars is for initiation. So this aspect is good. With 8th aspect, it aspects again 4th house. So this person often have conflicts, disputes with both mother and father, because Mars is as afflicting, impacting both 9th house and 4th house. Mars in 10th house, it attains Digbala. It is a very strong, very good position. Mars in 10th house with a favorable Saturn aspect makes a person a top lawyer, because Mars is argumentative, Saturn is for law. And Mars in 10th house can make a person a famous surgeon, because Mars is a natural 8th lord who digs deep. That's what the surgeons do. They attain name and fame, and they strive for it. They are recognized. So people in military who are at higher position, who can command the troops, basically they're supposed to have this Mars in 10th house. Mars in 10th house produces strong Ruchika Mahapurusha Yoga with Digbala, and these people are they're like colonels, commanders, chief commanders, who can lead thousands, lakhs of military. Mars in 11th house. So actually Mars does well in 3, 6, 11. So it makes a person very courageous. So he has a charming personality, having connections with many people. He's a socialized person, but still is an aggressive. He leads many groups, many friends. He becomes a leader of many groups, or a community. And his financial position is very good. He's fortunate with Mars being in 11th house. So it represents that the elder sibling or his friends are of bit aggressive nature, masculine nature. So Mars in 12th house, again this produces Mangalic dosh. Mars in 12th house can make a person addicted to severe alcohol, drugs, and hidden things. Because the commander got into a hidden place to command something. So from 12th house, he aspects 3rd house. So it impacts relationship with their younger sibling, and also this makes a person quite aggressive. And with the 7th aspect, Mars aspect 6th house, again it triggers enemies. And with 8th aspect, it aspects 7th house, and it delays marriage. And these people get into issues with their spouse, partner. Especially for women, Mars is Karka for marriage. And also Mars is Karka for this menstrual cycle. If Mars receives malefic aspects of Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, afflicted Mercury, afflicted Moon, can disturb the menstrual cycle of women. He is a Karaka for periods for women, and he also blocks that, because he owns the 8th house also, natural 8th house Scorpio. Because Mars is blood. So either in transit or as per ascendant, if Moon passes over Mars, so that's when a woman goes through the cycle, menstrual cycle. So the adverse aspect of malefics on Mars, or adverse position of Mars, either in 7th house or 8th house or 12th house, could create problems related to menstrual cycle disorder, excessive bleeding. So friends, this is my analysis about Mars in all 12 houses. If you like the video, please click on like button and also subscribe to my video. Thank you very much.